Okay guys, Miss Foley here. We are continuing our tutorial about scholarly research with a discussion today of Google Scholar, which is a search engine which really lends itself to research basically of any kind. It sort of filters out the noise of Google, and it has a number of features in the search engine which lend itself to the kind of research that we're going to be doing here in speech and debate. So, and I like this, look, nice little saying here. Stands on the shoulders of giants. So it is the summer of 2013, and what's in the news right now is a number of protests going on in Turkey. So I am going to ask Google Scholar to give me some information about the protests in Turkey. Okay, so up here we start with the Pontic dialect of modern Greek and Asia Minor and Russia. This is not helpful to me. And it's not helpful to me because it was written in 1937 and has nothing to do with political events in Turkey. This was instead about a language issue in 1929. Interesting. I see, you find out all sorts of interesting things. But since I would like to focus instead on current events, this this menu here on the left-hand side is what really distinguishes Google Scholar. I'm going to parameterize my search engine to 2013. And sure enough, the articles that I find are more relevant to what's going on right now. The Daily Kos, very sort of left of center. Okay, here we go. We've got the Lancet from 2013. I know the Lancet is a medical journal in England. Facts and health services provided during the recent events in Istanbul. I've got another article about human rights abuses. I've got a PDF about violent response to protests. A little curious about this. It's in the journal Commentary. Interesting. And again, we always want to look for other sources. Again, good research will follow the thread of the conversation. And so we can see what this author is citing for his research. We started with Harvard Medical School. Interesting, his references, or her references. See, Jennifer's site. See, my assumption, bad. If I go up a little further, amid the tumult in Turkey, human rights abuses abound. If I look at that, let's see what that is. Okay, so this is this is one of the many Lancet articles about this. Again, very nice here on the right. You can do it in a PDF, a printer-friendly version, export citation. The great thing about Google Scholar, and this is really a key advantage of it, and here I see one right here. If you see one of these blue highlighted hyperlinks, as Human Rights Watch said in a report condemning those arrests, if I click that, look, it takes me to Human Rights Watch, and it takes me to that article. So again, good research is letting other people do the research for you. I've probably said this before, but I think about my days of doing speech and debate and going to the university library in the basement and looking up microfiche to try and find these things out, and I sort of shudder at the memory. But anyway, so and then I could follow this indefinitely. So this is going to take me up to something which I suspect might be very long, to another article in the Human Rights Journal about Turkey. So I can continue to follow the thread as long and as deep as I want to do. For now, I'm going to go back and show you some other options in Google Scholar that make it really a tremendous resource for anyone doing speech and debate. And one of these things is, if I want to cite it, for example, I can just cut and paste this using the MLA, the APA citation, or the Chicago style, which is mostly not used very much anymore. But you can just cut and paste that. Again, my preference is, if you think you're using an article, just cut and paste the entire article into a master document. And then as you continue your research, you might find that you can cut and paste some of those articles and put it into a secondary Word document for secondary resources once you've exhausted the primary ones. More here, if I click this, I'm not really sure actually what that does. Ah, I see. It just highlights more things, but it's basically the same article. The one I really want to show you, and I don't see it here, I'm going to go to page 2 and see, it's called Cited. Let's see if we can get any here. I'll go to one more. There are 2 different versions of this. Sometimes Google Scholar will include things that are from a database that it doesn't have authority to release basically on Google Scholar on its own search engine. So it might give you different kinds of versions, like it might give you a PDF version. I have a feeling that one of these might be a paid database, but perhaps the article has appeared in multiple places and so it can access one of them without charging you anything. Here if you go to the related articles, you can see, again, it's another layer of specificity in your research. So if, for example, I thought the Neo-Ottoman goole, Turkish popular culture in the Arab public sphere, if that's what I wanted to research, something like that, well, I'm going to press related articles. And now I get even more information about this kind of current event stuff. Muslim nationalism and the New Turks. So let's go back. I'm still looking for, it's rare that I have to go this deep. Ah, here we go. Cited by 2. So here's an article, The Not So New Turkish Woman, a statistical look at women in 2 Istanbul neighborhoods. This article, if I punch that button, these 2 articles quote this article. So again, if I'm tracing the thread of a particular author or a particular viewpoint, I want to follow the thread by then going to this document. Now, see, can't. I'm a little nervous. I'm going to press continue. We'll see what happens. I don't know where this is going to take me. Sometimes that's the part of research. And so now I'm at the Goodling Institute for Research in Family Literacy, of all places, January 2011. And if I scroll down to the bottom, hopefully I'll see the citation of the article that was quoted. I don't remember who the author was. I'm sure it was one of these. And you can do, it's almost like Alice in Wonderland. You can go down to you can go down the rabbit hole to any degree of specificity. Again, if I wanted to do just legal documents, I can do that. None there. If I wanted to do, ooh, and that's even more interesting, federal courts, California courts, or I can select the courts. I mean, how amazing is that? I cannot get over it. So let's go back to our original search here. We'll do a couple of quick things as we wrap this up. My citations, if you saved any citations, this will save them for you. Again, I'm hoping that you're cutting and pasting in real time. This arrow, not really helpful. You can do an advanced search with all the words, the exact words, one particular word, and then if you want to do articles or dates published, if you want to be really specific. But again, I think a lot of that's covered by the menu on the left. The really neat thing I think about Google Scholar, well, one of the many neat things, is that I can create an alert. So if any document quotes this article, I will get a notice at my Campbell Hall website. So if I create that alert, any article that now appears will come to my inbox. This is an invaluable tool if you're doing public forum or Parley, because particularly public forum, well, no, both of them, because they're both so reliant on current events. And if an article gets published, say, the Thursday before a tournament, you can be sure that there are going to be teams that are going to have that evidence and that documentation in their case. Well, if you go to the round and you have no idea about it, you may lose. But if you have Google Scholar and you've set up an alert, you'll be alerted if anything pertinent to what you're searching for comes up. So that's some of the amazing features of Google Scholar. I hope you use it. I think it will save you a lot of time. Again, good research is letting other people do the research for you, and Google Scholar is one such search engine. So thanks so much for joining me.